Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadadi Swapadantikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Sapta Kancana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavaneshware Vrishabhana Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaeva Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, all dear devotees. I'd like to express first of all, my heartfelt joy of being with you and also gratitude for giving me this opportunity to speak today. ISKCON Scarborough. And today's topic is, I'm going to speak about the Brahmana's wife blessed. This is the event that took place in Vrindavan and Mathura, where the Lord Krishna is begging for food. Despite being the Supreme Lord, who is Bhoktarang Yaptapsam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is a proprietor, he is the owner. Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, he is the proprietor of all the planets. He's the owner, he's the Ishwara. Ishwara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. But still he's begging for food. That is very contradictory. And Krishna is the Lord of all contradictions. Yes, why was the need for him to beg? Was not necessary for the food, but because he wanted to bless, to deliver the Brahmanas, and to also bless the wives of the Brahmanas. So that was the reason of his begging for food. And Krishna is Lakshmipati, is everything, is the owner. But he's doing that just to be able to deliver the Brahmanas as well as to bless the wives of the Brahmanas. So they were hungry. Krishna and Balaram were hungry. So they said to the Gopas, please go to, that was the place of the Brahmana's wife, or the Brahmanas, they were performing yagyas. So go to the Brahmanas. Krishna Balaram told the Gopas, please go and meet the Brahmanas who are performing yagyas, at the Yagyashali there. So, and beg for some food because we are hungry. And you can take our name. Go to the sacrificial arena where Brahmanas are now performing the yagyas. So, and you can take our name, Krishna and Balaram, surely they will give. So just simply you go there and request for food. Declare our name. That's what they said. Declare our name, Krishna and Balaram. So then the boys, the covered boys, they went there to where the Brahmanas were performing the yagyas, and they stood there with folded hand in supplication for food, on the request of Krishna and Balaram. Dear respected Brahmanas, that's how they addressed. If you have faith with us, so please give some food for Krishna and Balaram. If you have faith, please give some food for Krishna and Balaram because they're hungry. They said like that, if you have faith in Krishna and Balaram also. And if you also have faith that food will belong to Krishna and Balaram, please give us some food. So, in fact, the Brahmanas, they are called the Bhumi Deva. Brahmanas are called Bhumi Deva, the devas of the earth, Bhumi Deva, Brahmanas. So please give some food. In fact, there are many formalities while performing yagyas. There are many formalities. Like for example, the priest cannot eat the food before the end of the yagya. They cannot honor the food. The yagyas has to be completed. There have to be cleanliness. So many formalities are there. So, and if they don't follow that, they cannot. The priests themselves, they cannot take the food. They cannot eat. But the coward boys, they were not aware of these formalities. They were not aware. But they just wanted to please Krishna. That's what they want to do. They were not aware of the formalities, but they just want to please Krishna and Balaram. Because sometimes the Brahmanas, many Brahmanas, they are entangled. They get entangled in the elaborate rituals, the advanced rituals, the Vedic rituals, but they are not experienced, the inexperience. And so in fact the place, the time, the paraphernalia, the mantra, the ingredients, the yagya, the offering, the fire, the demigods, the performer, the rituals, the priest, they are all simply aspects of the Lord's opulences. They're all aspects of Lord's opulences. The mantra, the rituals, demigods, the fire, the performer, the paraphernalia, the time, the place, the ingredients of the yagyas, the offering, all simply aspects of Lord's opulences. But what happened, the Brahmanas, they failed to recognize the Lord. And they failed to reply yes to the boys, to the coward boys. Yes, we will provide food. They also failed to reply. They failed to recognize Krishna. And they failed to reply yes or no. They did not even speak to the boys, to the coward boys who came to beg for food. And then they could not get the food, and they went back and told Krishna about it. What has happened? They haven't received the food because the Brahmanas, they did not even speak to us. They failed to speak to us, so we could not get the food. And then Krishna told them, now you go and ask food from the ladies, the Brahmana's wife. They will give, and take our name. So what happened? The boys came back, and now this time they're meeting the wives of the Brahmanas. Bowing down. They're bowing down, the boys, they're bowing down to the ladies, the Brahmanas ladies. And they also address with humility. Please give food to Krishna and Balaram, our companion, and the other companion. Please give food to them. So it's explained that the ladies, when they heard of Krishna and Balaram, the Brahmana's wife, when they heard of Krishna and Balaram, immediately they were eager, they were actually eager to see Krishna and Balaram. They were very much eager, although they were forbidden by their husband, brothers, and children, forbidden by them to go to Krishna. Nevertheless, they left everything. They took all the food, prepared food. They took all the pots, all the food. They left home, although they were forbidden by their husband, brothers, and children. They left everything because they were so eager to go and meet Krishna and Balaram. And they reached the spot where Krishna and Balaram, there was one of the wife of the Brahmana. She was late in going out. She was stopped by the family members to go out. Immediately she fell down unconscious and left the body right on the spot because she was forbidden to go to see Krishna. She was a bit late going out. She could not make it. But others, all the other ladies of the Brahmanas, the wife of the Brahmanas, they left. They went to see Krishna and Balaram with the food, all the pots of food. And here the yajna has not been completed yet. There's some rules, some formalities. Before the food has to be offered to Lord Vishnu in yajna. Right? So, and then they went, when they came to see Krishna, beautiful, very good, beautiful complexion of Lord Krishna. They were very, very attracted. And they have offered the food to Krishna and the companion. And the food was eaten, was taken, was honored by them. And then at last Krishna told them, now you all have to go back because Krishna's glories actually has become the ornaments of the ears of those ladies. They have heard about Krishna. I'm going to explain how did they heard about Krishna, because they're from Mathura, right? So because their mind were always absorbed in the thought of Krishna, their eyes forced. So they were very much eager to go and see Lord Krishna and Balaram. So, and then at the end, Krishna told them, now you have to go back. You will have to go back because I'm so pleased now with the food. So you have to go back. It's not good that you stay here in the forest of Vrindavan here. Closeness is not good. You have to go back. And the lady said, no, we will not go back now. We're going to stay here because we have left home. We have left everything. The husband, the family members, the children, everyone. We cannot go back. Now we'll be rejected by them. Or we'll be beaten if we go back. But Krishna was trying to explain, now, no, it's not good. You have to go back. And the lady said, no, you've said yourself. Sarva dharman parijata mamekam saranam braja, come and surrender to me. Right? Just give up everything. Sarva dharman parijata and surrender to me. That's what we are doing. So why are you telling us to go back? We've been rejected by our parents, by our husband. We cannot go back. Or if we go back, we'll be beaten. So, and then the lady said, otherwise we're going to stay here. If you don't want us to be with you, we'll be in Vrindavan. We'll stay in the forest of Vrindavan. We'll wander here and there. And we are going to collect the tulsi leaf that fell down from your feet and be happy with that. We don't want to go now. We want to stay here in Vrindavan. So then Krishna is told them, no, this is not proper. You have to go back. And then Krishna said a very nice verse. He said, Sravana Darshana Dhyanam Mai Bhavo Nukirtanat Na Tata Sanikarshena Pratiyate Tato Grihan. He said, you go back, please. Sravanat, Darshanat. You can always hear about my glories at home. Darshanat, having my darshan. Dhyanam, you can also meditate on me. Keep a murti, keep a deity. You can always hear the glories of my glories and also darshan of that murti. My bhavo nukirtanat, and with love chant my glories. So then he said, Sanikarshena, not tata Sanikarshena, proximity is not good. You cannot stay with me. So, I mean, that speaks about love and separation. More important, right? So, pratiyata tato grihan, please return home. Grihan means house, return to your house. So that's what he told them. Go home and have a deity, have a murti of me, hear my glories, chant my glories, meditate upon me, and chant my glories with love and devotion. Please return home. So then they had to go back. So the ladies, after listening to Lord Krishna, they went back to their home. But what happened is here, when they came back home, they were worried, of course. And the Brahmanas, they came out, and instead of chastising the ladies, they came out and then they start offering obeisances, respect to the ladies. The husband offered obeisances to the wife in respect, in great respect. That now they have realized that although they were qualified Brahmanas, they know the Vedas, learned Brahmanas. They know the Vedas. They're expert in rituals, in cleanliness, in knowledgeable. But they have failed to recognize Krishna. So what they did, they just came and paid obeisances to the wife. And the wife of the Brahmanas, they did not go through all these rituals. They are not learned. They don't know much about cleanliness or rituals. They did not do all this, but still they have recognized Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. We have failed, although we know so much. Hell to our birth, go to hell to our aristocratic family. We have taken birth in aristocratic family. Hell to that. Hell to our rituals, to our learning also. Let it go to hell. Because we have failed to recognize Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And we have heard, they said like that. We have heard, earlier we have heard that the Supreme Lord have taken birth in the Yad dynasty. They have heard about it. But they have failed to recognize him. That's Krishna, that small boy Krishna, Gopal. In fact, in Vrindavan, it is not easy to recognize the Supreme Lord. It is easier to recognize him in Vaikuntha, yes, because in Vaikuntha is majestic opulences. In Vaikuntha, in Dwarka, is easier to recognize the Lord. But it is not easy to recognize the Lord in Vrindavan. Because in Vrindavan, the Lord doesn't play the role of God. He's just a coward boy. Right? It's easier to recognize him in Vaikuntha or Dwarka, but not in Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, he doesn't play the role of God. Even Lord Brahma failed to recognize the Supreme Lord in Vrindavan. Indra, great demigods, Indradev, Brahma also failed to recognize Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God in Vrindavan because he doesn't play the role of God. He's of course rasa, different rasas. Devotees have different relationship with Krishna in different rasas. Even Lord Brahma actually failed to recognize Krishna because Brahmaji said that Krishna, Lord, the Supreme Lord is Yagya Bhukt. Yagya Bhukt means one who actually eat in yagyas. We're performing swaha, all these ahuti, offering to the Lord, because yagya, another name for Vishnu is yagya also, Yageshwar, yagya, that's Vishnu. And the goal of yagya is to satisfy Vishnu, right? So he's called Yagya Bhukt, one who eats in yagya, in a kunda, in Havana kunda, in yagya. But what happened, this little boy is eating food, and surrounded by coward boys. And his hand is dirty. He has put his hand into the food of other boys. They're mixing together. He's carrying some rice and some fruits in between his fingers, stuck there. How can this be the Lord? Right? I mean, he's supposed to be yagya bhukt, eating in yagya only. Well, how is he eating? He is eating sitting around doing picnic, right? With his coward friend, coward boys, and he's sitting in the middle, and they're also exchanging food, putting the sweet in each other's mouth. How can that be? How can he be my Lord? How can he be the Supreme Personality of God? So that's what I'm saying. It is not easy to actually recognize Supreme Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, especially in Vrindavan. So here, similarly, the boys, the Brahmanas also, they said like that. They have failed to recognize Krishna. So when the wife came back and they were repenting, and they bowed down to the wife, because although they didn't have all this qualification of the Brahmanas, but still they have been able to recognize Krishna. The love for Krishna was immense. So how is it that these ladies, they are from Mathura, and how did they develop this attraction, intense attraction for Krishna? Right? Immediately when the boys came, they asked for food for Krishna Balaram immediately, without wasting time. Just took all the pots, all the food to Krishna and Balaram. Right? So because it happened that some of the ladies from Vrindavan, they used to come to Mathura to actually sell fruits. So we know that used to be ladies, one lady used to go to Krishna's Nandagaon to sell fruits. That's when Krishna also exchanged some rice to get some fruits. And the basket, the fruits of that lady was full of jewels, right, in return. So, and these ladies also used to come to Mathura to sell fruits, vegetables. And this is where the Brahmana's wife, they have heard about Krishna from those fruit sellers, about the glories of Krishna. And in fact, this is how they became attracted, just by hearing about the glories of Krishna. They've developed so much love. And the husband of those ladies did not know about it. They did not know. So they were hearing the glories of Krishna from the fruit sellers. So by hearing, just like Rukmini also. Rukmini Devi fell in love with Krishna by hearing about Krishna's glories from Narad Muni. Narad Muni used to come and visit the kingdom of Bhishmaka, King Bhishmak. Rukmini heard about Krishna, never seen Krishna, but heard about Krishna's glories. And then she decided when she's grown up, she's going to get married to Krishna, just by hearing the glories of Krishna. So hearing is very, very powerful, right? So these ladies get to know about Krishna just by hearing his glories. And these ladies never undergo any purificatory rites or brahmacharinis, austerities, or gyan, or formalities of cleanliness, or been engaged in pious activities. They have never done that, but they have firm faith, firm devotion for Krishna. And the Brahmanas, they didn't have that. And although they have executed all the processes mentioned, I've just mentioned. So this was told by Sundar Swami said. Sundar Swami said that the Brahmanas were not aware that the wife had been associating with the residents of Vrindavan, the fruit ladies, and then had heard about the beauty of and the quality of Krishna. So Vidashya Sarvar Aham Eva Vedya. The goal of knowledge is to know Krishna. The goal of the Vedas is to know Krishna. Of course, the Brahmana, they were also Karmakandi Brahmanas. But they said that we have failed to recognize, although we have heard that Krishna has taken birth in the Yadukul. They have heard about that, but they did not know that was Krishna. They have heard that the Supreme Lord has taken birth in the Yadukul. But they did not know that was Krishna. So, of course, they have heard, and at one point they wanted to also know about it, to go and see, but because of the atrocity of Kans Maharaj, they could not go. So this is what I'm saying, that it is not easy to actually recognize the Supreme Lord in Vrindavan. Even Lord Brahmaji failed to do that, right? And Brahmaji actually stole the coward boys and the cows. It was hidden in a cave because he cannot understand how can this be my master? He's just playing with the coward boys, is eating food, doing picnics. I cannot be my master. And trying to test. So in trying to allure, in trying to bewilder Krishna, Brahma himself, he was bewildered. So, yeah, Brahma Vimohan Lila, even trying to bewilder Krishna, and he himself was bewildered, right? This is why mystic power should not be used. Sukadeva Goswami asking a question to, Maharaj Parishita, this question to Sukadeva Goswami. Why devotees, they don't use the mystic power? Because why? Because the mystic power can bewilder the yogi also. The yogis can get bewildered by their own mystic power. So this question was asked by Parishit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami. So yeah, because why we can't have faith? We should have faith in the senses, because the senses can also disappear. The senses can run very fast. It's not easy to control the senses. We can't put faith in the senses. This example is given. If there is a hunter, when a hunter would catch an animal alive, and if the animal is alive and the hunter is not watchful, so two things can happen in the animal. Either the animal will run away or he can kill the hunter. So our senses can kill us also, or we just run away. So similarly, here, Brahmaji trying to bewilder Krishna, he himself was bewildered. And then he himself came and begged for forgiveness. And when he was asking for forgiveness, Krishna was listening, but Krishna was not actually paying attention. Krishna did not even speak a word to Brahmaji. When somebody is asking for forgiveness to someone and the person doesn't say anything, what does that mean? He's not so interested. So Krishna did not say anything. And Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur said that, in fact, Krishna was thinking, what is this Brahmaji doing here? When is going to go back? He's wasting my time. I'm just eager to go and see my friends, the coward boys and the cows. I'm so eager to go and see them. Why is he wasting my time here? So and then Lord Brahma is asking for forgiveness from Krishna. And he said that we are creators. At time we also influenced by the ego. And then please forgive us. And he said, Brahmaji said, when the baby is kicking in the womb of the mother, sometimes the baby is kicking, right? In the womb, the baby sometimes kicks. But the mother doesn't take offense, right? And the baby is kicking. So Brahmaji is saying the same thing, that we have made offenses. Please do not consider that. Please forgive us. And then Brahmaji, he said so many things. Lord Brahma said to Krishna that we are one who does not remember Krishna, one who does not become a devotee, one who is not aware of Krishna, one who is not Krishna conscious. That's what Brahmaji said. One who is not Krishna conscious, all his possessions that he has are considered to be like thieves. Thieves, sure. Whatever we possess are like sure thieves. And it said also, our house become like a prison. The house is compared to be like a prison. Our possession are like thieves, and the house is like a prison house. That's what Brahmaji said. And the family members are like cycles. One who is not Krishna conscious. This is what Lord Brahma told to Krishna. And one who is not Krishna conscious, one who doesn't remember Krishna. All his possessions are like thieves. His house become like a prison. And then all the relatives are like cycles. This is what in fact Lord Brahma said to Lord Krishna when he was begging for forgiveness. And then at the end, Krishna said that now I have to go. Now I have to go. I have to leave now to go back to resume my service. So Lord Brahmaji, he was there, and then he said, I have to leave. And Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur said, yes, Brahma has to go. Because Brahma, his role is different. So he is a creator. He has to resume his service of creation. What is he doing here? If he's in Vrindavan, this will be a rasabas for him. Because he has to go back. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur said, yes, Brahmaji has to go back and resume his service. And the Prabhupada commented that, yes, service is more important than trying to be in samadhi, trying to be in ecstasy. So service is more important. So here again, this Brahmana's wife, they were actually they got to know about Krishna by hearing from the fruit and flower sellers. They have been able to actually recognize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the love for Krishna has increased so much. So this is, and the Brahmana would say also like, hell to our threefold birth, to hell with our vow of celibacy, to hell with our extensive learning, and hell to our aristocrat background, hell to our expertise in rituals of sacrifices, all condemned, because they have not been, he said, we have been bewildered about our own real interest. That's what it said, Brahmana said. We have been bewildered by our own real interest. So, what is that love? What is that bewilderment about our own real interest? So, our own real interest means self-interest. We say that like that, some self-interest. What is that self-interest? Sometimes we say it's not good to have self-interest. Swartha. What is that swartha? Own interest. Swartha means our own interest, because the interest of the soul is Krishna. Right? We have to have self-interest. That's okay in one sense, because self-interest, everything belongs to us, because it's dear to us, to the soul, right? So that's that the interest of the self, the interest of the soul is Krishna. So here the Brahmanas are saying we have been bewildered by our own self-interest. They were thinking self-interest is different thing. Rituals, karma kandi, things like that. That is a self-interest. But they said that we have been bewildered by our own self-interest. In fact, the real self-interest is Krishna. That's the interest of the self. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that he said that the highway robbers, the senses, the mind, the senses, they're stealing our own wealth, right? They compare to be like highway robbers, and they are stealing. That we have never heard of that. We have heard that thieves, they steal the possession of other people, but here we are stealing our own possession, right? By the highway robbers, the senses compared to be like highway robbers. They are stealing our own wealth. The senses are stealing our own wealth by stopping, by avoiding us, by stopping the living entity to enjoy Krishna consciousness. This Krishna consciousness. So this is compared to be highway robbers. We're stealing our own wealth, but by not allowing the jiva to enjoy Krishna consciousness. So this is how the karma kand brahmanas, they were performing all these ritualistic ceremonies, but they could not recognize Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they were Chaturvedi or Trivedi's, and they've learned the Vedas. Of course, the Vedas, they're also mostly about the karma kanda. Most Triveda, Trividya Visaya Veda, Trigunya Visaya Veda, Nistraiguna Bhavarjuna, because the Vedas deal mainly with the three modes of material nature, especially karma kanda. And in the Vedas, we'll find Krishna can be found also. Definitely, Krishna can be found in the Vedas. But we also may not find Krishna in the Vedas. Krishna can be found in the Vedas. We may not also find Krishna in the Vedas. Advaitam Achutam Manadi Manantarupam Adhyam Purana Purusham Navayomanam Cha Vedesu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakto Vedesu Durlabam. It's difficult to recognize, to get Krishna after the Vedas. It's Durlab, it is rare. Vedesu Durlabam. But it is Adurlabam Atma Bhakto, easier to find Krishna from the devotees. Yes. So the Vedas, it is both. You can say it is both. One may not find Krishna, but one can find Krishna because Vedashta Sarvar Aham Eva Vedya. The goal of the Vedas is to know Krishna. But it is also rare to find Krishna. This is why the Brahmanas, they were bewildered. They could not see Krishna. And the Vedas are like the desired tree. So, and the ripened fruits of the Vedas is just like in a tree. In a tree, the most important part of that tree is the fruits, not the tree itself, not the branches, not the leaves, not the flowers. The beauty of the tree, the most important is the fruits. So the one can see the mango, for example, the mango is there. Mango is there in the tree, in the leaves, in the branches, but you can't see it. That's like the Vedas, it's there, it's invisible. But once the fruits start growing, that's the Bhagavatam, right? Because it is a ripened fruits of Vedic literature. So this is why one may be also be bewildered. Just like the Brahmanas, they said that we have been bewildered by our own self-interest, the karma kanda, the rituals, and they could not recognize Krishna. So that's why they said, Vede sudurlabam adurlabam atma bhakto. So this is why when Vyasadeva wrote the Vedas, he was not satisfied because Narad Muni said, because you have not written about the Nam, Gun, Rup and Lila of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many people maybe also be bewildered by understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Krishna is Arjuna, he confirmed that you, Krishna, you are the Supreme Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitam Paramam Bhavan. And Krishna spoke the Chatur Sloke. Yes, Krishna spoke the Chatur Sloke, the 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita. Why this Chatur Sloke is most important in Bhagavad Gita? Because Krishna is saying that Machita Madgata Prana Buddhas Pasparam Katantascha Mamnita Tushanticha Ramanticha. By speaking about my glories, exchanging each other, and one will get satisfaction and pleasure. Tushanticha Ramanticha. This is very important because this is Chatur Sloka Bhagavad Gita. Why it is important? Because this is the last message that Krishna gave to Arjuna before Arjuna concluded about, before Arjuna gave his conclusion about Krishna. Yeah. These 4 Chatur Sloka, these are the last instruction that Krishna gave to Arjuna before Arjuna concluded about Krishna, before his conclusion towards Krishna. What is the conclusion towards Krishna? What he said? Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavritam Paramam Bhavan. You are the Param Brahma, Supreme Lord. Pavritam, the purest, the oldest. That's the conclusion of Arjuna. He concluded that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And of course, after that, he also asking, tell me about your opulences. What are your opulences? And he spoke about his opulences. There was no need to tell more about his opulences because Arjuna has already concluded Krishna. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitam Paravam Bhavan. And also in chapter 11, he showed him the universal form. Why? Because just to prove, right, to the ordinary people that he is a Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's not easy to actually recognize Krishna. It's not easy to understand Krishna. Only by devotional service. Arjuna is saying that I've heard it before from Asita, Devala, Vyasa. I've heard it about from them. But now you yourself are telling me about it. Now Arjuna is completely convinced Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna because Arjuna is the one who listened, who accepted Krishna's words. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita about the Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and at the end he said, Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Mama Vijanati. Only through Bhakti you can recognize me. Only through Bhakti you can understand me. So this is what has happened to the Brahmana's wife. And they were hearing about Krishna. Sravanam is a process, is one of the processes of Navavida Bhakti. They heard about Krishna just by hearing about Krishna. And they had so much intense love. They were cultivating that hearing. They were cultivating that hearing with love. That's what Krishna told them also. Sravanat, Darshanat, Dhyanam. That's what we do, right? And Sravanat, Darshanat, Dhyanam, listening and have my darshan, keep a murti, keep a deity. You can have darshan daily. Dhyanam, you meditate on me. Bhavo nukirtanat. with love and with bhava, with devotion, chant my glories. Are we chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare? Tatha sanikarshena, proximity is not good. Pratyata tato grihan, please go back to your home and keep the murti and worship me, chant my glories and meditate on me. It's equal to being with me. That's what Krishna said. So I'd like to end here and like to thank you all for your attention. And it's been 1 hour already. So I'd like to, if anybody have any question, please to answer.
Hare Krishna Maharaj for giving another wonderful class today. And we learned so many things. Hope we can retain some of the information you have provided to us. One question is, what should we understand from the point that being well-versed and literate, the Brahmanas could not recognize Krishna, although their wives were able to recognize Krishna easily. What should they learn from this example?
Yeah. Is the point, thank you for this question, beautiful question. The point is, Veda said, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedya, means of all the knowledge I am to be known, right? Of the Vedas I am to be known. The goal of all yogas is to know Krishna, is to recognize Krishna. So the Brahmanas, while they have not gone through all these rituals, or it's mentioned here, the purificatory rites, brahmacharinis, austerities, jnanis, formalities of cleanliness, engage in pious ritualistic ceremonies. But what happened, they haven't gone all through all, they have never undergo all through all these, but they have firm devotion for Krishna. And the Brahmanas, they didn't have this devotion, although they executed all these processes mentioned. So the point is, one can actually achieve Krishna by devotional service. That's the point. And Vedesu Yagnesu Tapasu Chaiva Danesu, by Vedesu Yagnesu Chapasu Chaiva Vedesu, by performing devotional service, one can achieve the result of all the other process also. Vedesu, Yagnesu, Tapasya, Danesu. Just by performing devotional service, one can actually achieve the results of the other processes. So the point is one may become a learned scholar, learned jnani, or learned stanga yogi, whatever. You know, so many ritualistic ceremonies. But rituals, they are rituals, right? Krishna is not saying rituals for ritual, you will know me. You will understand me. Bhaktyamam abhijanati. So, bhakti, right? So spiritual, right? Not ritual, but spiritual. That's the point here.
Thank you, Maharaj. Nicely answered. And now we understand that the bhakti or serving God or Krishna is the best, better than the karma kanda of Vedas.
Definitely, definitely.
Thank you, Maharaj. One devotee has a question. He raised hand. Krishna Katha Das and Hari Katha Das. Could you please ask the question directly to Maharaj? Please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, this is Raj. My question is, how can mystic powers bewilder the Brahmanas?
Mm. I mentioned the mystic power bewilders Lord Brahmaji. So Brahmaji had mystic power, demigod had mystic power, using the mystic power to bewilder Krishna. It's called in Hindi, I think, Brahma Vimohan Leela. Vimohan means trying to bewilder, right? So he's using his mystic power to bewilder Krishna, but in return, he himself was bewildered, right? So he's trying to bewilder Krishna, stealing the cowherd boys and the cows, put them into the cave. That he was trying to bewilder Krishna. He just wanted to see what Krishna is going to do. If he's God, right? He's trying to bewilder him. But then when he came back to see, he saw all the boys and the cows the same, right? Unique, identical. And then he himself was bewildered. Oh, what happened? Right? Who are they? Who are these boys in the caves and who are these ones? So he himself was bewildered, and he was bewildered by his own mystic power. That's the point. Many people claim to be God. They use mystic power to produce so many things. You know, and then at the end, people start saying that, oh, they are God. And he start thinking, oh, maybe yes, I forgot about it. So his own mystic power will bewilder him. Right? So, and this is in regard to Lord Brahmaji, what I was saying, and also some fake incarnation will also be bewildered. The yogis also get bewildered by their own mystic power. That's why devotees, we don't use mystic power. And the Brahmanas, they were bewildered. They were bewildered by their own self-interest. Yeah. By their own self-interest means the karmakan, the self-interest for the karmakan, the rituals. Because they were thinking this is pakka, we have to be rigid in following the rituals. You know, they're very, 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 very strict.